Hey guys, welcome back to the Watches and Giggles channel. It's your boy again, Chris from Chicago. First off, as always, thanks so much for joining me again, guys. I really do appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to be discussing my 2020 Baselworld predictions. Yeah, and also kind of a wish list, but this is what I think is going to happen for Baselworld 2020. But before we get into that, we'll see what I'm wearing. I have on, again, a shitter, the Timex Q, but fun little watch and I enjoy it, so I don't care. All right. Back to 2020 Baselworld predictions. We'll get right into it as I have these pages marked. And yes, that is a dog in a pink sweater. That is the only sticky things we had in the house to mark the pages. So feel free to ding me on that in the comments if you want, but in any case, okay. Yeah, I know everyone and their mother has predicted the sub update, but 2020 does feel like the right time. I do think they're going to slim down the lugs, put in a new movement. I do not think they're going to put the sub on a Jubilee bracelet. Pretty much it's going to stay the same, except in between the Swiss made right there, they're going to add the crown. So the crown in between the Swiss made, slim these lugs down a little bit, and put in a new movement with the 70-hour power reserve. That's pretty much it. Not going to spend too much more time on the sub, but yes, I do agree and think that's going to get updated. Yep, dog again, pink sweater. Okay, on to the GMT line. Yeah, BLNR. Oh, such a beautiful watch. I do love that watch, but only two variants are available to purchase in steel, in the steel variety. And I do believe, I know a lot of people are hoping and wanting for a Coke. I don't think Rolex is going to do that just yet, but I do think they're going to bring back the black. That's right, just a plain black bezel, and it will be on the Jubilee. Some other channels have predicted that it may be on the Oyster steel bracelet variety, but I don't think so. I think Rolex is trying to separate the Submariner and the GMT. So I think with the Jubilee bracelet, they're going to stick with that. And I believe they're going to bring back the green variety. So with the green 24-hour hand, and then the GMT Master 2 will be in green as well. So you'll be able to get that now, just like the Batman from the Oyster variety that you can now get on the Jubilee. I believe that'll happen with the black. So that's what I'm feeling for the GMT. Now we move on to the Explorer and the pink dog again. Okay, so this, not a lot of people are predicting this, but I think the Explorer is going to get discontinued. Okay, why do I say that? Nobody else is saying that, so why do I? Well, from the multiple ADs that I visited and close relationship that I have with one, and then another where I spoke with the owner, I did a video on that in Michigan when I went to visit my brother and sister-in-law. They believe the Explorer 1 is going to get updated or discontinued, whatever you want to call it. And I think they're going to bring it back down to 36 millimeter. Not a lot of people like this 39 millimeter as it wears more like a 40. I personally hope it doesn't happen because I have an Explorer on the way. I have a deposit down for, and honestly, if I didn't get it in time and it did go back down to 36 millimeter, because there's no way they're going to make this a 40 millimeter watch. There's just no way. So either it stays the same or they bring it back down, but I actually think they're going to bring it back down to 36 millimeter because most people want this watch and they like the dial better in the 36 millimeter as everything shrinks in a little bit and looks a little nicer. As this dial, it is spread apart and there is a lot of real estate. I, for one, actually really like it. So I hope I get mine in time, but who knows? It may never happen. But Explorer 1 discontinued, brought back down to a 36 millimeter variety. All right, moving on. Milgauss and the pink dog. Okay, so Milgauss. All right, in steel, obviously they don't make a solid gold one, and they just got the Blue Z and the black dial variety. I think Rolex introduces a third model this year. hopefully back to the old school one with the red writing on it, and that red arrow right there at the bottom will be in red, the tip of it. They're going to introduce that one again, I feel. That will be a hot seller for Rolex, and I definitely at some point will want to own one. Won't be able to. Funds are getting a little short with all the watches that I'm buying, but if they do that, that'll be a home run for Rolex. So I think they're going to do that. And finally, my last prediction is this guy, the Rolex Air King. Controversial with all those 5s, 6 of them, I believe. And, you know, you either love it or hate it. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I've had a chance to buy this watch multiple times from an AD. It was offered to me actually at the time that I decided to go with the Explorer 1. This was offered to me as well. I turned it down. But it does make sense for Rolex to discontinue their watch because they made it speedometer for, I forget what it's called, but I think it's like the Bloodhound, some kind of supersonic car along those lines. I'm not exactly sure, but something like that. But I believe their relationship is over with that automobile or whatever it is. So now would be a good time to discontinue this thing. So I think Rolex is going to do that. I think the Air King will be discontinued this year, and not totally, as they'll bring it back in some variety because it's been around forever. I mean, you still got that beautiful Air King written in the original writing from the first one, which I think is actually really cool. So if you're on the fence about this watch and you were thinking about it and you really like it and weren't sure, now may be the time to get it because it may not be available after 2020 Baselworld. So that's about it, guys. I won't take up any more of your time, but that's what I believe will happen come Baselworld 2020. Don't hold me to it, but we'll find out shortly. Guys, thanks so much for joining me again today. I really do appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.